Ontario Education Minister Stephen Lecce, he discussed, launched his PR on the extracurricular activities that students should receive as there's negotiations going on. There was some speculation that if the government is pushed, that they would pass legislation where they would make teachers as frontline workers, which then would prevent them from going on strike. Now, that's a step that they haven't taken. It is a lot of speculation. The minister, when he was asked in media press releases, he didn't answer it specifically, but he did say that he's committed to having kids in class for the entirety of the school year, and saying that the 2 years of the backlogs due to COVID-19 and the start and stop when it came to students' education have set them back. Take a look at why media was on the scene asking questions.
So food literacy is important. There was a private member's bill introduced by a former colleague, Daryl Cramp. I was so persuaded when you looked at the data of children who are not getting enough physical education today, that we have a bit of an epidemic before us, right? We have high rates of child obesity in Canada. We don't have kids on average getting enough physical activity. We see the intersection of a lack of physical activity on the mental health of kids and the academic success. We saw sports being withdrawn in many schools across Canada, and associations closing for months at a time because of the pandemic, sports associations. And I think for me, I want to create a well-rounded young person. There's a mental component to health. There's also physical health. And for our government, we really do believe getting kids out there, having fun, a healthy sweat, like this is good for kids, right? They need to get out there, have fun, and more importantly, get their steps in, if you will, because a lot of kids didn't do a lot over the pandemic, and no fault of themselves. There just wasn't a lot to do, frankly. Everything closed. And so now there's a real imperative on getting them physically healthy and active. So the physical activity is important. On the food literacy side, why we think that's important is because as a progressive conservative, we believe in personal responsibility. I want a young person to understand what they're putting in their body. It could be a cigarette, drugs, alcohol, food. They need to understand the impacts because they're going to make decisions, period. At least empower them with information. Give them the knowledge up front so they can do their own risk assessment if that's a good thing or not. It's also about helping them live a long, healthy life. And it starts with setting good behavior and good norms in the early years. If we can condition them to healthy lifestyles, healthy eating, health literacy, so they know the impact on sugar and other elements of food, I think we're building a more resilient citizenry. I think we're going to have kids living healthy, longer lives. It reduces the impact economically on.
To capture the full interview, please join us on Y Media on Facebook and YouTube, and you can catch the minister's announcements and as he answers questions on there.